And shooting is shooting. It's still the same, regardless. How you apply the shooting is different. I want to make sure I articulate this correctly, right? Because yes, you move through a USPSA or IPSC stage differently than you move through CQB or a one-on-one gunfight, right? It's different. But the principles underlying the movement, the principles underlying the shooting are not different. It's how you're applying them. Both competition and combat are application of your shooting, right? And the better a shooter you are, the better your chances of prevailing are. Your shooting drives your tactics. You can talk all you want about tactics and mindset and all the other, nebulous, intangible things we talk about. But the bottom line is, if you can't shoot at a very high level, then you're holding yourself back. Your tactics may not carry the day. You need that skill in order to use the tactics you have learned. It has to be there. And the people at the very top of the special operations game routinely bring in, the Army SMU routinely brings in top competitors for a specific reason, because they're the best in the world at shooting. And shooting is shooting. It's still the same, regardless. How you apply the shooting is different, but the shooting doesn't change. And I'm going to quote a good friend of mine, Matt, from X-Ray Alpha, who retired out of an SMU. He says that gunfighters are the ultimate gamers. And it's true. You're playing a very high stakes game, to put it, kind of bluntly, and you want every advantage you can get. I find all too often that when people have that statement about competition being different from combat, either they don't understand the training methodology, they don't understand that it's a drill you're doing. It is not a scenario, but it's going to make you a better shooter and a better mover and a better thinker. And all those attributes carry over to the real thing. So either they don't understand that, or it's often, and I'm going to be a little blunt here, it's often simply an ego thing. It's ego. It's I don't want to get shown up because I have a long tab and a green beret, or I have, I'm a ranger, or I've got a trident, or I'm on a SWAT team. They don't want to go there and get beat by some 60-year-old guy on oxygen with a walker or a teenage girl. And when you go to competition, especially in the beginning, you're going to get beat by people and just wonder what happened. You're going to show up and some guy's going to walk up on his walker and take his oxygen mask off and set it on the walker and walk over to the line to get ready and make his gun ready. And the beep's going to go off and the Tasmanian devil's going to come out of that guy. And he's going to be 2 Alpha, Alpha Charlie on every target. And he's going to walk away with a fast time. And he's going to take your lunch money. He's going to beat you up at kindergarten and take your lunch money. And you watch this guy, and he goes back to the walker, and he puts the oxygen back on, and he hobbles away, and you're like, what just happened? Yeah. And that's out there. I knew before I started competing how good the greats were, because like I said, I cared about my shooting. So I would get, VHS and then DVDs later on, and watch things on YouTube and see the top competitors. So I got how good they were. What I didn't get, though, is the depth of skill that's out there. You can go to a local USPSA match and find some guy who's an IT guy or a construction worker, and he will humble you. And that's an important thing, and people don't look at it that way, and I don't know why, because guys in my former lines of work who do martial arts, who do, say, BJJ, right? They'll go to the dojo and they'll intentionally seek out somebody who can stomp them so that they get better. But then they go to the range and they don't want to be shown up. And it's the same. I was a martial artist my whole life, and that's another thing that kind of informs the way I look at training. And when you go train in the dojo, you don't want to train against someone you're better than on a regular basis, because you'll stagnate. You want to occasionally, of course, but to help them. But you want to seek out the people that are better than you, so you learn to get better. Or like the BJJ guy who's the best guy in the dojo. So what does he do? He trains with somebody and puts himself in a disadvantageous position. He gives the other guy the lead, the advantage, and then tries to work out from it so that he gets that challenge, right? It's the same thing with shooting. For decades, I was comfortably, like, I felt good among my peers, and that held me back. I should have been out there seeking out the national champions and, you know, getting curb stomped and getting my lunch money taken, and that would have made me better.
Thanks for watching this clip of the Tactical Breakdown podcast. To get access to more interviews just like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell. Or, even better, come join us on the ILEETA network, ILEET.network, where you will get access to world-leading instructors, trainers, hundreds of hours of training content designed to change the standard of law enforcement training. We'll see you there.